Okay, replacing the brakes front and back on the 2000 Toyota Camry 6-cylinder today. Got the wheels off, got it jacked up. Start by loosening the nuts on the wheel, and then you can lift it up after that. That's going to expose the brakes here, the caliper and the rotor. We're going to start by taking off the caliper and the pads, loosening up the two 14s, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then two 17s, top and bottom. We'll be able to get the caliper all the way off, and then we'll be able to take off the rotor. Brake pad's already soaking with the disc brake quiet. That's the first step, and then we'll do the back after. So fronts are going to be the same, backs are going to be the same, so we'll go from there. Gonna use a little piece of wire to hang that for now. This one's already loose. Sometimes they get stuck. You could hit it with a hammer, or there's two tappings that you could thread in bolts and basically extract it that way. So then you're just going to do everything in reverse. We're going to have to open this back up. Take an old pad, and I'll take some big channel locks, and I'll squeeze it, and I'll just open up the brake fluid cap reservoir on the top, make sure we don't overflow. So this will go back on now, and I'm gonna just get these started. So getting those locked in all the way, make sure that you get it finger tight before you start putting a wrench on it. You don't want to cross thread it. Caliper mounting bolts. Front caliper, we're going to do 25 foot-pounds, which is going to be the outer piece. The caliper torque plate, which is the part of the caliper that's mounted to the actual axle itself. Caliper torque plate front is going to be 79 foot-pounds. So it'll be 79 foot-pounds, 25 foot-pounds, and then on the rear when we get to it, it'll be the 168 inch-pounds, and the torque plate will be 34 foot-pounds. So the back is going to be the rotors, the pads, and then on the inside the drum brake for the emergency brake. To take the caliper and the rotor off is going to be the same as the front, except they're both going to be 14s, so the outer and the inner. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those off, and we'll expose that. So you got the shoes that make contact with the back when you pull the handbrake. Okay, so now we're gonna take these shoes off. There's 2 springs on the top, and then springs in the middle, and then 1 spring on the bottom that hold the 2 together. So we'll start one at a time. So you can kind of line up these holes a little bit, not as well as I wish you could, but basically there's a pin. There's a pin coming through the back, and then this washer has spring pressure on it. So you have to press the spring and turn the washer so that it lines up with the flat end. It's a little bit tricky, but that's the idea on how it's going to hold. You can do it a few different ways. There's a tool for it. If I can hold the back, that's the easiest. And there's another spring on the bottom, and then this holds tension at the top. So this will go back in the same way. This doesn't come with the kit, so I'll just clean this up. Get a spring, and then the adjustment on the bottom, and then this is the actual cable. This is the cable coming from the parking brake, so that's kind of tricky to get off, but this will come out. Just a spring holding that. So you basically have to pry this piece down, which is going to create a lot of tension on the spring, and pull it out from the bottom side. And then when you put it back in, it'll be the opposite. Once you kind of lock it down, you can grab it with something. And then you can hopefully free it. So now we have to free this piece out, because I don't have another one of these. So this C-clamp is going to come off, and there's a pin that this is sitting on this pin. So we'll slide it out and put it on the new one. Putting this back on, get the washer, then we're going to put this on. And then we have our C-clamp. So I'm gonna get this back on here. Gonna have to pull the spring up. Okay. So that's in, and then while I have this down, I'm gonna go ahead and put the spring on this. And go ahead and put the spring on across the front side. Both of these. Put this adjustment together. So this is kind of tricky to do. There's probably a better way to do it. Make sure that's seated in there. And then this is going to sit like this. Get this one started. So I'm not fighting it all day. Take this. I'll just catch this side. That in. I'll line this up with this. Catch this side. Okay. So that's in. So the tensioner and spring is on the bottom, 2 springs on the top, and then the spacer on the top with the spring on it. Now we have to get the pins back through. The straight one's going to be in the front, and the offset one's going to be on the back. It's going to be facing the front so that it has, the arm has space to move back there. This is going to go through. This is going to lock in, and there's a little slot that you can catch this. It hooks in, spring, and then this washer is going to do the same thing where it locks in and then you turn it. What I did that worked is get a 3/4 6-point. I basically hammered it in and then marked which way the line was facing, so that I could push it in and turn it. So I have it in here like this, and then I'll just mark where it's straight. That way I know I can push it in and turn it. So last thing I'm gonna do is just sneak a little bit of grease, white lithium grease behind the contact points. Okay, so that's solid. It says 5 to 8 clicks. So you go inside, pull the handbrake, 5 to 8 clicks. If it's engaging, then you're good. If it's still not engaging, you could loosen up that tensioner on the bottom, basically expand it.